Hello students, I am Archana Bhatt, lecturer in the Department of Commerce. In this session, let us start with our first chapter, that is deduction under section 80. So these are the contents that we are going to cover in this session. First, introduction to the chapter. Next, statement of income, deduction under section 80, and at last computation of deduction under section 80. So, in the last year, that is in second year of BCom, you already studied how to compute total income of an SSC under 5 heads, that is income from salary, income from house property, profits and gains from business or profession, capital gains and income from other sources. So, under each head, the income is calculated separately after considering the permissible deduction. So, the net income of these heads are added together to get gross total income. From this gross total income, when you deduct that is deductions are allowed in respect of certain payments made and income received by an SSC. So, after deducting these deductions, you arrive at total income. So, on this total income, SSC have to pay the tax. So, the aggregate amount of deductions under section 80C to 80U cannot exceed the gross total income. So, this is the statement of total income. In this statement, first you have to add all 5 heads, that is income received from all these 5 heads, and you get the gross total income. And when you deduct the deductions from 80C to 80U, you get the total income. On this total income, you have to pay the tax. So, here 5 heads are income from salaries from section 15 to 17, income from house property, that is section 22 to 27. Next, profits and gains from business and profession, section 28 to 44. Capital gains, section 45 to 55. Income from other sources, section 56. So, when you add the income from these heads, you get gross total income. From this, you have to deduct the deductions from 80C to 80E. Okay. Next, let us study about deduction under section 80C. Let us start from this deduction under section 80C. So, under this section, deduction can be claimed up to rupees 1,50,000. Okay, here if any deductions crosses this limit, they can claim only 1,50,000. More than that, they cannot claim. So, the first deduction, that is the first payment that can be claimed under this section is life insurance premium paid. An SSC can claim life insurance premium paid under this deduction. So, here life insurance premium paid on the life of SSC himself or his spouse or his children can be claimed. Here the children or child can be natural child or adopted, minor or major, married or unmarried, or employed or unemployed. Here no condition is applied. Okay. And here SSC can claim the deduction up to 10% of the policy amount. Here the premium should not exceed 10% of the policy amount. Person with the disability can claim up to 15% of the policy amount as premium, and this 10% is applicable only on the insurance policy taken after 1st April 2013. If any policy taken before 1st April 2012, 20% premium, that is 20% of the policy amount can be claimed as a premium. But if the policy is taken after 1st April 2013, only 10% can be claimed, and here person with disability can claim 15% of policy amount. So, this is the first payment an SSC can claim under deduction under section 80C. So, the second payment is contribution by an individual to SPF or superannuation fund or recognized provident fund. Here if one person is contributing to this SPF or recognized provident fund, he can claim it under deduction under section 80C. Next payment is contribution to 15 years public provident fund by the individual in his name, in the name of his spouse or minor children. See, in this point, that is contribution to 15 years public provident fund, the child or children are minor. Here if the child or children are major, they cannot claim on their behalf. Okay, here contribution to 15 years public provident fund. Next point is contribution by an individual or HUF to unit linked insurance plan, that is shortly known as ULIP of UTI, in his name or his spouse or child. Okay. Here remember one thing, if an SSC is an individual, then he can claim any deduction in his behalf or on behalf of his wife or on behalf of his child. If an SSC, that is if the SSC is Hindu undivided family, in that case he can claim deduction on the life of any member of the family. Remember this point, I am not going to tell this again. Okay. Next point is any sum paid by an SSC for NSC 8th and NSC 9th issue and deposit in Sukanya Samruddhi account, and here the accrued income can be reinvested and he can claim under this deduction under section 80. Here any sum paid by an SSC for NSC 8th and 9th issue and in Sukanya Samruddhi account, and the interest is also eligible for the deduction. Next point is deposit by an individual or HUF in 5 years post office time deposit account. Here remember one thing, it is not post office savings account, here it is post office time deposit account. Next payment is payment to notified annuity plan of LIC or any other insurer approved by IRDA. Next point is investments in equity linked savings scheme of mutual funds specified under section 10 subsection 23D. Next contribution is contribution by an individual to any notified pension fund set up by a mutual fund or UTI. Next point is any payment made by an individual or HUF towards the cost of the purchase or construction of a new residential house property during the previous year. Individual or HUF can claim the cost of purchase or construction of new residential house property. Okay, that is payment in the previous year, and here the deduction is available in the following respect, that is first one is any payment by way of installment or part payment of the amount due to housing board, cooperative societies, etc. Any repayment of loans borrowed by the SSC from Government Bank or LIC of India or any public company formed in India for providing long term finance for the construction or purchase of residential house in India. Next deduction is available in respect of stamp duty, registration fee and other expenses incurred for transferring such house to the SSC. So, here any payment made towards payment that is cost of purchase or construction of new residential house, in that respect deduction is available in case of payment of installment or part payment of amount to housing board or cooperative societies and any government banks or LIC of India or any public company formed in India for the purpose of providing loan to construction of house, and stamp duty, registration fee and other expenses incurred for transferring such house to the SSC. You have to remember one point, payment made towards cost of land or any addition or renovation or repairs of the house after its completion are not qualified for deduction. Here before completion of construction of the house it is eligible for deduction, but after constructing the house it is not eligible for deductions. That means here construction renovation is not eligible for deduction. The next point is amount deposited in home loan account scheme launched by National Housing Bank through all scheduled commercial and cooperative banks. Accrued interest is also eligible for deduction. Okay. Next point is subscription to any deposit scheme floated by a public sector company which is engaged in providing long term finance for construction or purchase of house in India. So, here subscription to any deposit scheme floated by public sector company, not private sector company, here that is public sector company for long term finance, okay, that is for construction or purchase of house in India is eligible. Next point is subscription by a SSC to any deposit floated by any statutory authority formed for satisfying the need of housing accommodation in cities, towns and villages in India. You have to remember these points and explanation is not required for these points. So, because of that I am only reading the points, because you have to remember the points only. The next point is payments made by an individual as tuition fees, that is other than development fees and donation, only tuition fees to any educational institution situated in India for the purpose of full time education in respect of any two children of the SSC. Here tuition fees of any two children is allowed under this deduction. So, the next point is amount deposited by an individual or a Hindu undivided family as term deposit for a period of 5 years or more as per the scheme framed by central government with any scheduled bank. So, here amount deposited as term deposit for a period of 5 years or more with any scheduled bank. Next point is subscription by an SSC, that is subscription by an individual or HUF to notified bonds. So these are the claims or these are the payments which come under deduction under section 80C. So you have to remember all these points, and in the problem you have to see if they mention only these points, these are eligible for deduction under section 80C. So let us see some problems so you can understand better. So the first problem is, see here, from the following particulars of Mr. Adarsha, find out the deduction allowable to him under section 80C. So, life insurance premium, own life 22,000, contribution to unrecognized provident fund, fixed deposit in SBI for 5 years, subscription to national savings certificate 8,000, contribution to public provident fund 15,000, accrued interest on NSE 8th issue 8,000, LIC premium on mother's policy 5,000, payments of bank loan borrowed for construction of the house made out of agricultural income 21,000, tuition fee of one child 14,000. So here see, life insurance premium on his own life is eligible for deduction, and contribution to unrecognized fund is not eligible because here under section 80C only contribution by an individual to SPF or superannuation fund or recognized provident fund is eligible. So contribution to unrecognized provident fund is not eligible. Next, deposit, fixed deposit in SBI for 5 years, that is in scheduled bank it is eligible. Next, subscription to national savings certificate, here national savings certificate means NSC is eligible. Next, contribution to public provident fund eligible. Next, accrued interest on NSE 8th issue eligible. So I already told you, subscription to national that is NSE and interest accrued is also eligible because here interest is reinvested. Next, LIC premium on mother's life is not eligible because here individual can claim deduction on LIC premium of his own, his spouse and his children. Next point is repayment of bank loan borrowed for construction of the house made out of agricultural income. Here repayment of bank loan is eligible. Tuition fees of one child, here tuition fee of 2 children are eligible, so one child also is eligible. So the see the computation of deduction under section 80, when you write all the claim that are eligible, you get the total of 98,000 and it is less than 1,50,000. So whole amount can be claimed under section 80C. That means from the gross total income you have to deduct this total amount of deduction under section 80C. So here premium on mother's life insurance policy and contribution to unrecognized provident fund are not qualified for deduction under section 80C. See the second problem. Here LIC premium of rupees 10,000 on own life policy eligible, national savings certificate 8th issue, that is NSE 8th issue eligible, 15,000 rupees subscribed to home loan account scheme of National Housing Bank, interest accrued thereon rupees 8,400, both are eligible. Next, 8,000 paid to the mutual fund of Unit Trust of India eligible, 4,000 to unit linked insurance policy of UTI eligible. Next, 6,450 as contribution to recognized provident fund eligible, and interest accrued thereon is not eligible, because only contribution to recognized provident fund is eligible and not the interest. Contribution to PPF also eligible and interest thereon not eligible. Repayment of rupees 12,000 which was taken for extension of house. Here see, it is not a construction or a purchase, it is extension of house, is not eligible for deduction. And 1,000 deposited in post office savings bank account. Savings bank account deposit is not eligible. So, go through this when you do the problem. So, go through this. Here LIC premium, that is when I am explaining the LIC premium paid, I already told you, if the policy was taken before 1st April 2012, 20% of amount can be claimed for deduction. If the policy is taken after 1st April 2030, only 10% is eligible for deduction. Here see, you can consider both, because here particularly nothing is mentioned. So, you can go in favor of the SSC. So, here you can consider the policy is taken before 1st April 2012, and here 20% of that amount is eligible. So, 20% of 40,000 is not 10,000, that is 8,000. So, here only 8,000 is eligible and not 10,000. Here I also mentioned the calculation. Please go through this and the explanation given at first. Okay, and rest of the things are same. So, you get the total amount of 71,850. So, whole amount is eligible under deduction under section 80C. So, go through this problem, that is third problem. It is relating to Ganguly, professional cricketer. So, LIC premium of own life eligible, LIC premium of wife's life eligible, unit linked insurance plan eligible, PPF deposit eligible, 5 years post office time deposit also eligible, interest accrued on NSC eligible, interest received on NSC matured not eligible, only interest accrued is eligible, here matured not eligible. Repayment of housing loan to LIC housing finance eligible, repayment of housing loan to brother not eligible, only loan taken from government banks or scheduled banks are eligible for deduction, and medical insurance premium paid also not eligible. So, when you add up all this amount, you get 1,51,480 as deduction amount, but under section 80C maximum amount of deduction is only 1,50,000. More than that is not is taxable. So, the difference amount 1,480 is taxable and he can claim 1,50,000. Okay. So, this is about deduction under section 80C, and in the next session let us discuss some more deductions under section 80C. Thank you. 80, that is in the next session let us discuss some more deductions under section 80. So, thank you students, let us meet in the next session.